Welcome back, Banter fam. We're looking at the Bitcoin chart, and Bitcoin has been trading between 41.5 and 43 almost the whole day. And it seems that the market is nervous. In fact, no. It seems that the market is in extreme fear. And when we get to periods of extreme fear, what I like to do is I like to block out the noise, and I like to look at the fundamentals to see whether there is any basis for extreme fear. Because if you have noise and extreme fear and no fundamentals to back it, then it could be the biggest buying opportunity before a parabolic bull run. And that's what we're going to be looking at today. We're going to look and see what is driving this move and all these nerves, see if there's anything in the fundamentals. And if there isn't anything in the fundamentals, then we're going to look at what we should be buying, because that's what logic says. So it's going to be a big show. I'm also going to be giving away a lot of money. I have a lot of money to give away. I've got Ridotto, I've got Orion money, I've got Real Fever, I've got those Ronaldo packs for you guys. So lots to do today. Let's get the show on the road. It's going to be a big one. I always
Banter, this is Crypto Banter, this is Crypto Banter. Crypto Banter for you, this is Crypto Banter, this is Crypto Banter, this is Crypto Banter. Crypto Banter for you, smash those likes. Smash those likes. Crypto Banter for you, smash those likes, smash those likes. Crypto Banter for you, smash those likes, smash those likes. Crypto Banter for you, for you.
love this new track, love this new track, love this new track. Welcome back, guys. I'm Crypto Man Run. I am here twice, 3 times, 4 times, sometimes 5 times a day, bringing you crypto love and crypto wisdom, and making sure that every single member of the Banter fam makes life-changing money. And I'm so scared to say that after yesterday's show, but there are right now, if I look at it, there are 309, whoa, slow down, guys. There are 391,000 of us in the family. That means that 391,000 of us have made a choice that we want to change our lives. That means that 391,000 of us stand a chance to win today, because today I'm going to be giving away a lot of money. I have Ridotto pre-IDO. The IDO is, I think, today or tomorrow. I have, what else have I got? I've got Orion money, I've got Real Fever, Ronaldo cards. So if you're new to our channel, subscribe to our channel. Best subscription decision you'll ever make. And if it's not the best subscription decision that you'll ever make, then I will refund you the money that it cost you to subscribe to the channel. So whatever you paid for the subscription, I will refund you. That's what it is. So I will refund you, trust me. What else? Okay, we do have a message for the people that had issues with ByBit. So with ByBit, what you were supposed to do, you were supposed to press that Join Now button. If we've got a picture of that Join Now button. So you were supposed to press that Join Now button to get the airdrop. And a lot of people didn't press the Join Now button, and we reminded you a bit late. So the good people from ByBit say the following. There is still a bit drop from 29th September, tomorrow, till the 16th of October. So you still qualify for that. And what they will do is ByBit will run another special airdrop campaign specifically for the Crypto Banter family, because we reminded you late. So don't withdraw your money just yet, because I'm not sure if they're going to take a screenshot of your money now, or your money on the from the 22nd to the 26th. So don't withdraw your money yet. We are looking after the Banter fam. There's no way that I'm going to let it go without the Banter fam getting what they are supposed to be getting. That I promise you guys. I'm going to make sure that you guys get whatever you're supposed to get, even if I die trying to fight for it, or if I have to pay it myself, I will do it. But you know, you will get it. It's not too late. There is a ByBit description at the bottom. Join the deposit money. We'll take that snapshot, and then you guys can get BitDAO tokens. Alrighty. What else? Before we get into the show, we've got the giveaways. Let's see, is there anything else on my list of things that I have to deal with today? That is all I have to deal with. Remember, after the show today, we will, it's not ready yet, so don't go there now, but we will post this on our Meetups section of our website. It's an old website. The website looks like shit. We are launching a new website. But this will just show you, if you want to go to one of the meetups, you can either host a meetup or you can join a meetup in your city. So after the show, don't go there yet. It's not working yet. Go to CryptoBanter/meetups with a hyphen in the middle, and that will have all the details for this Friday's meetups. If you want to host a meetup, just put your details in there and people will start joining. And that way we support people that have restaurants and pubs and event venues in our community. And that's what we want to do. Anything else, Federico? Oh yes, no, we're not doing giveaways until we get 5,000 likes. Okay, cool, we'll do it later. Alrighty, so I said to you guys that when I look at the Bitcoin chart, what I see here is I see nerves. I see the price jumping up and down. Let's look at the 1 hour chart. And you can see the price has been going down, 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 down. And it seems like people are extremely nervous. If we look at the fear and greed index, the fear and greed index is showing us that people are in extreme fear. So we need to look at what is causing this extreme fear. Because the difference between a good investor and a bad investor is a good investor knows how to block out the noise and to analyze the fundamentals that match his thesis. A bad investor has a thesis, then starts to listen to all the noise around the thesis, and then gets swayed to make bad decisions. So you got to make a decision whether you want to be a good investor or a bad investor. If you are a good investor, and your thesis, you have a thesis, and then you compare the data to your thesis, and the data actually compares to your thesis, the fundamentals, then when the price dips, it's actually a buying opportunity, not an opportunity to start being shaken out. If you are a bad investor, you have a thesis, you think to yourself, okay, I know that something is going to happen. I know Bitcoin is going to go up. And then when you get all this noise that the media makes and all this noise that happens on Twitter, you exit. And right now, there's two schools of thought on Twitter. One school of thought on Twitter says, we're going parabolic in Q4. The other school of thought says, hold on, we're going down to test 35,000 before the next move. I'm of the school of thought that we're probably going up. And what I'm going to do today is I'm going to show you guys all the breadcrumbs that I follow to see how to block out the noise. So forget about the noise. I block out all the noise. I don't do noise. I do fundamentals. And the reason why I don't do noise and I do fundamentals is because the fundamentals can remain detached from the price for a certain amount of time. But eventually, and it may take time, the fundamentals have to actually go back towards the price. That is what a market is about. So you can have short-term deviations from fundamentals. That's very, very, very common. And if you're a trader, then you can trade those short-term fundamentals. But long-term, the price has to go back to the fundamentals. So what we need to do is we need to understand what it is that is driving these markets. Why are people nervous? Why is Bitcoin going down? Why are we in extreme fear? What is it that's causing this? We know that there is China FUD, and if you want an update on the China FUD, China has now banned TradingView in China. Yeah, true story. They banned TradingView in China. And I think that they banned TradingView because they don't want people to see charts of crypto and non-Chinese stocks, because they don't want the Chinese people to get tempted to take their money and to put their money in overseas. You can see that there is a pattern from the Chinese government. The Chinese government is starting to close off China from the rest of the world. They don't want foreign blockchain influence. They don't want foreign company influences. They don't want anything. They want to do it their way, and they are going full on socialist. And that is just the way that it's going to be. But the opportunity, as I said to you guys yesterday, is in DeFi. And we will see today how the money is flowing out of China into DeFi. The FUD, though, that is driving the nerves actually has nothing to do with crypto at the moment. What's driving the nerves is this one chart over here. This is the chart of what they call the US government bond. It's a 10-year US government bond. And what they mean by a 10-year US government bond, this is the price or the yield that the government, the US government, can borrow on a 10-year loan. Now, what you see sticks out for you in this chart is that it looks like the yield on the 10-year government bond, the US 10-year government bond, is shooting up. And the problem is that when the 10-year government bond shoots up, when the yield on the 10-year government bond shoots up, it's a signal that interest rates may be increasing. And if interest rates are increasing, it means generally that the price of stocks will go down. The reason why the price of stocks goes down is because investors use the interest rate to discount the future cash flows that the companies are going to give them. And when the interest rate goes up, when you're discounting the future cash flows, the price goes down. And so what that implies is it implies that the stock market should be going down. And you can see that if you look at the stock market today, the Dow Jones is down 432 points right now as we speak. And the NASDAQ, which is the technology, the tech stocks, let's just have a look here if we've got it. Oh, we've got the QQQ here, is down 2.28%. So it's a brutal down the stock markets. And the reason why it's such a brutal down the stock markets is because the interest rates seem to be going up in the United States. And on top of that, what you can see is that people are going into US dollars. This is what they call the US dollar index, or the DXY. And the DXY compares the strength of the US dollar to a basket of other currencies and assets. What you can see, and I'm not a Sheldino at all, but you can see that it's just broken through this support level, and that money is going into US dollars, which is interesting. The US dollar, everybody knows, every single person in the world knows that the US dollar is a shitcoin. Everyone knows that. Even Janet Yellen, she also knows that the US dollar is a shitcoin. She says, Congress must raise the debt limit by the 18th, October the 18th. That's 3 weeks away. It's 4 weeks away, 4 weeks away. Treasury Secretary warns in a new letter as potential default looms. I need to ask you guys a question. Would you guys invest in a company would you buy shares in a company if you knew that there was a big chance that the company couldn't repay its debts in 3 weeks? That would be like me asking you 3 weeks before Evergrande went down the tubes whether you would buy its stocks. I wanted to show you what that looks like. Let me show you Evergrande. Okay, so remember Evergrande, that Evergrande. Okay, so question is, 3 weeks before it started to default, so let's look over here. Let's say that they started to default on the 24th of September. Once 1 September, you could have bought the share at 408, and by 3 weeks later, you could have bought it for half price. So my question to you is, if you had a company, and the company, there was a big chance that the company couldn't repay its debts, would you be putting money into their stock? If you watch other crypto channels, maybe the answer is yes. But for Banter family, the answer is definitely not. We would never do that. So the US dollar, the US cannot pay its debts. They are about to default on their debts. And that is according to the Treasury Secretary. And at the same time, people are plowing into the US dollar. They are plowing into the US dollar, and they are rushing not only into the US dollar, but they are taking these US dollars and they are lending them to the government to get 1.5% in 10 years. Okay, very smart investment. Lend the government, the US government money, and get 1.5% per year for 10 years. Very smart investment, while money is devaluing by 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 and 9 and 10% per year, depending on which inflation numbers you mean. Very genius investment. The only person who thinks that you should make that investment is our friend Gary Gensler. Remember, he said that you shouldn't do crypto, but at the same time, don't forget that the Fed had 2 presidents quit yesterday because of damning evidence of their insider trading. And Gensler doesn't want you to get 4% on your crypto savings account. That's exactly what's going on. Yesterday, two Reserve Bank Fed presidents yesterday quit. They went into early retirement because of how damning the information was about the inside information, insider trading. So disaster waiting to happen. So the long story short is that people are rushing into US dollars, which is a shitcoin. We all know it's a shitcoin. They all know it's a shitcoin. Even the US knows that it's a shitcoin, but they're doing it. And they're doing it because they are scared. They are nervous about the stock markets. They're saying, look, the stock markets are overheated. There's a lot of instability in the world. Probably the safer place to be, even though it is the lesser of two evils, let's rather be in US dollars. And this is where I think the opportunity is for crypto. Because I think for the last year or 2 years or 3 years, the last year, let's say since COVID, times have been really good for investors on the stock market, and specifically for hedge funds and hedge fund managers. They've been able to get easy returns, easy alpha, easy returns by putting money into the stock market, because the US government has just printed more money, it's repriced stock prices, and it's been the easiest job in the world. If you were a fund manager in the United States and you woke up and you realized on the 23rd of March that the US is announced that they were actually going to increase or print money, then it was actually quite an easy job, because you just invest, you realize that all this money printing is going to push up the prices of assets, and then you would have doubled your money if you did as well as the index. But chances are that if you were a decent fund manager, you made more than the index. The problem is that now the party's finished, the index is up, everybody's getting nervous, the US is not printing any more money, or hasn't printed any more money for a while, the US is about to run out of money, and you're going, what am I supposed to do? How am I supposed to get a return better than my peers? Because that's, when you're a fund manager, what are you trying to do? You're trying to get a return that's better than the peers. That's what you're trying to do. You're trying to get a return better than leaving your money in the stock market. You're trying to get a return better than all the other companies. And this is where I think the opportunity is. Because I think that these investment managers have had it easy. They can be complacent. Why could they be complacent? Because the rising tide lifts all ships. Because even if you were an idiot or a monkey or whatever you were, and you invested over here, number just go up. Easy. Okay, look how easy it is. You see? Number just go up. Put your money in anywhere. Even here, number go up. Now the problem is these guys are looking at this and going, hold on a second, we have a problem. There's no more returns on the stock market. The stock market is extremely overvalued. And they're taking their money out of the stock market. They are putting their money into US dollars because it's a safe currency. And then they're taking that US dollars and they're buying the 10-year treasury yield, which is giving them a whopping, amazing, incredible 1.5% APY, 1.5% APY for 10 years. 10-year loan to the US government for 1.5%. Freddie, would you make that investment? Freddie said not in a million years. Even Freddie said, Jimmy, would you make that investment? No one would make that investment. No one. Andrew, would you make that investment?
Wouldn't touch it with a 10-foot pole.
Exactly. See, Andrew's a smart guy. So this is where the opportunity is, because I think that now investment managers around the world are going to sit around a table and they're going to have really serious meetings. And they're going to say in those serious meetings, they're going to say, look, what are we supposed to do? How are we supposed to get more risk-adjusted return? How are we supposed to get more alpha? Alpha means return above the norm. How are we supposed to get that? And they're going to think. Then they're going to think. And then some wise ass in the room, it always happens like this, their Jimmy is going to stand up and he's going to go, got an idea, crypto. Everyone's going to say, no, compliance. And then they're going to say, you know what? Why don't we just try it? Because all the other funds that have done it have made a huge amount of cash. Maybe crypto is the way to go. So even though I think for now, we're going to get people being a little bit scared, and as you can see, Bitcoin has just gone a little bit further down because the stock market just went a little bit further down. But over time, what they're going to realize is, hold on, where are we going to put our money? And they can put their money into gold. Gold is shit. It doesn't give you any yield. it is antiquated, or you can put your money into Bitcoin. And that is what I believe is going to start the next parabolic bull run. Yes, that's exactly it. It's people that don't know where to put their money and are going to get desperate to put their money somewhere, and they're going to put their money into crypto. Morgan Stanley gets this. You know how I know Morgan Stanley gets this? Because they doubled their exposure to Bitcoin through the Grayscale shares. Now, I want to talk to you about the Grayscale shares, because herein lies a massive opportunity, I think, for crypto banter people. Right now, when we think the price is low, but the fundamentals are fucking fantastic, and I'll show you the fundamentals in a second, you can buy GBTC, which is Grayscale Bitcoin Shares Trust, at a discount of 16%. So that means you would be buying Bitcoin, which is trading at 41,500, and you're getting it at a discount of 16.18%. Right now, I think that is the best trade on the market. I am now buying Grayscale GBTC shares because I think Bitcoin is cheap, and because I've got 16.18% discount to net asset value by buying GBTC. That's what you should be buying. Let me quickly work this out so I can give you an exact number, because I have a calculator on my phone. So I write on the phone 41,500 times 0.84. You're paying $34,860 per Bitcoin. That's what it says here on my calculator. See, 34,860 if you buy GBTC shares. And we know the premium always closes when there is demand. Right now, there is no demand. The reason why there's no demand is because you guessed it. I'll show you what you guessed, because I know you guessed it. People are scared. We are smart. We buy when people are scared, because the fundamentals actually make sense. That's what we do. We're not dumbass. We don't follow the herd. We block out the noise, because I said to you, the difference between a smart investor and a stupid investor is the ability to block out noise and focus on the fundamentals. So I'm blocking out the noise and I'm looking at the fundamentals. The fundamentals are that there's nowhere else to put your money long term. You can put your money into government yield, government bonds, shit. You can put your money into gold, shit. No, you can't get a yield on gold. You can get a great yield on crypto and Bitcoin. You can't divide gold. You can't send gold. It's so antiquated. I don't even want to talk about it. You can put your money into the stock market, very, very, very overvalued. Not a bad investment, but very overvalued. Or you can just put your money into Bitcoin and crypto. Or you can put your money into art and NFTs, but that's illiquid for me. So I'm not doing that shit. I'm putting my money into Bitcoin and crypto, but only if the fundamentals make sense. So now let's quickly look at the fundamentals. Okay, so fundamentals, the only place we look for fundamentals, we look at the on-chain metrics, right? Here, you see I got you proof that I looked at the Morgan Stanley disclosures to the SEC, and I got you proof, here's the proof, that they bought. Now, they don't have a lot of Bitcoin. They only have $2 million worth of Bitcoin, but that was $1 million in April, $2 million in June. So it just keeps increasing because they're smart. They get it. There's nowhere else to put their money. This is not Morgan Stanley's money. This is the wealthy private clients inside Goldman Sachs, inside Morgan Stanley, telling Morgan Stanley to please get me exposure to Bitcoin. And it has doubled. Now, it's not a big amount, but it has doubled. That's exponential, double. Next month, next time they're disclosed, it'll be 4 million, then 8 million, then 16 million, then 32 million. You know how the story goes. I'm not going to talk to you about that. Okay, so I want to go quickly to the fundamentals, because that's very important. The fundamentals are showing me the following. It's me and Plan B, me and my friend Plan B. So me and my friend Plan B. Plan B says, to be clear, the worst case floor model is not, I repeat, not based on the stock to flow model. So everyone, including us, that's been saying it's based on the stock to flow, his tweet where he said that Bitcoin was going to be at a bottom of 43,000 is not based on the stock to flow model. I repeat, it is not based on the stock to flow model. I repeat, it is based on the on-chain data, and that is what he is looking at, because he says that the stock to flow model actually prices Bitcoin at 100, and how much did he say? Stock to flow says Bitcoin should be at $100,000 now. So this minimum of 43 that everybody's quoting has got nothing to do with the stock to flow model. The stock to flow model actually says that Bitcoin should be at $100 now. That's important. Why is that important? Because when we look at the stock to flow model and we look at the deviation of the stock to flow model to the price, we see that right now the price deviation from the stock to flow is near the lowest points of all time. There have been 3 or 4 times in history that the deviation from stock to flow has been worse. Once was in 2011, we don't count 2011. Then the last time that we saw this was in July 19th, 2017. What happened in July 19th, 2017? Look at the price here. Parabolic. You see parabolic move. Bitcoin 5x'd, and we closed the gap between the deflection of the stock to flow, and we went into positive territory. Now, we were very close to it here. We're still much lower now, but that is on Friday, the 5th of February, 2019. And then the price of Bitcoin went from 3,456 to 12,000. Okay. And now we are at that same point again where the stock to flow model has got that deflection. So 2 things could happen here. Either the stock to flow model is going to be proven that it's worth garbage and that we can throw it away and that the model is inaccurate, or the price will come back to where it needs to be. Historically, and that is, I'm only looking at the last 11 years data, so unfortunately I don't have any more data for more than 11 years because Bitcoin didn't exist. But if I look at the data for the last 11 years, the stock to flow model has always come back and actually shot through to be deflected the other way, above. So that is something on-chain that shows me this. Then I align that with more on-chain data, and this comes from Lex Moskovsky. He says, if you have only time for one chart, take a look at this. The Bitcoin Illiquid supply, now let me remind you what the Bitcoin Illiquid supply is. The Bitcoin Illiquid supply is they take all the addresses, they take all the clusters of addresses, and they know which addresses are hodlers. They don't actually sell their Bitcoin ever. They take them off exchanges, and they don't sell this. And if you look at this chart, the chart is going parabolic, which means that the illiquid supply of Bitcoin it's basically growing up exponentially, okay? That's what happens. Now, you can see that every time the supply has gone up exponentially, the price has gone up exponentially, but this time, the supply has gone up exponentially, but the price hasn't. This happened earlier this year, where the price went up, where the chart went up, and then the price followed exponentially over here. Why is that so important? Because when you take a scarce asset that you can't print any more of, and the people that never sell it are increasing their bags exponentially, eventually the asset is just going to become scarce. And if the asset becomes scarce, well, the price has to go up and the price has to follow. So that is what the fundamentals are telling us. That we know that. We also know that institutions like Morgan Stanley are entering the market. And we know that if the institutions like Morgan Stanley are entering the market, they bring with them a whole lot of good things. They bring with them money, which is very, very good. We like money. They also bring with them corruption and shenanigans. Okay, that's what they bring. They bring money, and when they bring the money, they also bring corruption. And they bring manipulation, and they bring games. So that's what they bring with them. So when they come into crypto, we must shake their hand and say, welcome to crypto. Thank you for coming, and thank you for bringing your money and also bringing your corruption. Because they come to manipulate the markets. If you think about what they're coming to do, they come to manipulate the markets. Now, if you look at Woo blockchain, they get it. Freddie's just taking off his shoes again. He says, according to Deribit, this is from Woo blockchain, it's not from me. He says, according to Deribit, the trading volume of ETH options with the expiration date of the 8th of October has soared, you see? Now, soared is not individual, it's not me and you that can make soared on the Ethereum Deribit options, it's institutions that can make soared. We can make moved, not soared. Soared is when institutions come in. There are currently 31,000 put options, and they want a price of, you see, That's the price they want. You see, that's the price that they want. They want $2,700 for ETH. Now, either they are forecasting that ETH is going to be taken on by Solana, and Solana is going to win, which is exactly what I said, or they are forecasting, or they are going to try and manipulate the market to try and get to that point where ETH goes down to 2,700. And if we look at ETH now, ETH is trading at 2,928. So that is where everything is happening over here. Remember that the more institutions, the more money, the more corruption. Okay. And again, the fundamentals here say, if you look at the fundamentals on ETH exchange reserve balances hit an all-time low. And where are they putting this money? Surprise. Into the ETH2 staking contract so they can earn a yield on their Ethereum. The return on ETH2 staking contract is today 6%, 7%. What's the number, Freddie? It's about 6 or 7%. No, not on ETH2. I think ETH2. Let's quickly look at staking rewards. We can see what the ETH2 staking rewards are. Let's have a look here. ETH 2.0 staking rewards today, 5.38. So they're taking the money, they're putting it into the ETH staking rewards contract. Institutions are also coming into other products. You can see that we stole this report from CoinShares. CoinShares is like the Grayscale, but of Europe. Good people. Melton Demiras actually is one of the founders here. And you can see a few things. The first thing is you can see for the last 6 weeks, the net inflows are positive. So more money is flowing into the ecosystems. But where is the money flowing? Let's quickly look at it. It's flowing into Bitcoin. It's flowing into Ethereum. It's flowing into Solana, 3.9. Solana is, if you look at the month to date, Solana is exploding. So you can see that since they opened Solana is starting to explode. Ripple, God knows why. This week there have been no flows, but people are still buying Ripple. And then you've got Cardano, Polkadot, and everyone else. So keep an eye on this. So I think to summarize for you guys, the difference between a good investor and a bad investor is your ability to block out the noise. If you can block out the noise and stick with your thesis despite all the noise, then you will make life-changing money. Simple as that. But you've got to be able to block out the noise, look at the fundamentals, and this is one of those times where the fundamentals are looking good. You keep an eye on the stock markets, you keep an eye on the 10-year government bond yield, and if the thesis doesn't change, or if none of this changes, this is a buying opportunity for us. Every smart investor in the world knows that, including my friend Andrew, who's a smart investor, very, very, very smart investor. Andrew,
Hey.
is this noise or is this not noise?
Well, I think you hit the nail on the head where you talked about the yield rising and a flight to cash, even though the US dollar is indeed a shitcoin, as you say.
So, Andrew, the reason why I brought you onto the show actually isn't to talk about the US dollar shitcoin, even though I know you're a very smart investor. You've had amazing successes. It's actually to talk about something else. And it is to talk about an investment that I know that you and I are both invested in. So I know you and I are both invested in this investment. And I wanted the Banter family to hear from you why you made the investment and why you back this investment so strongly. But before that, maybe just give them like a 2-minute version of your background.
Very quickly, I manage a investment fund called Dharma Capital. We manage over $1 billion in crypto assets. Prior to this, I was leading the founding of Consensus, so the Ethereum development shop responsible for Truffle and Fira MetaMask. I essentially brought Ethereum to market. And now today's conversation is to discuss a layer 2 scaling solution named Nahmi that just went live this morning.
So before we discuss Nahmi, and I mean, you let the cat out the bag before I could say it. And I have been telling my community to buy Nahmi from when it was at 0.003. So it's now 6x for anyone who bought it when we told them. Consensus is one of the main reasons why Ethereum is successful today, I think. I think it was funded by Joe Lubin or founded by Joe Lubin. A lot of the capital came from Joe Lubin, and it kind of kickstarted the ecosystem around Ethereum, or was one of them. I know there was the Ethereum Foundation, but there was also consensus. So it was consensus and the Ethereum Foundation, which kind of kickstarted all this amazing development around Ethereum, right?
Agreed. Absolutely. I think what we had to do was really look at developing an ecosystem that did not exist. So we had to develop tools such as Truffle and Fura MetaMask to enable software engineers to be able to build on top of Ethereum. We had to educate governments, Fortune 500s, and create places for startups to actually build applications. So there were multiple layers to the stack of Gantt charts that we had to consider for really kind of giving birth, if you will, to the Ethereum ecosystem.
So people don't understand that Ethereum never just happened. And the same thing with Solana, it never just happened. It's a well-coordinated process where you focus first on the base layer. You build a blockchain. And then you got to build all the tools that make the blockchain usable. Now, some of the tools we take for granted every day are things like a block explorer, where you can see the transactions on the blockchain. Some of the other tools that we take for granted are things like wallets, developer tools, developer integrations. All those things are super important before an ecosystem can flourish. And so with Ethereum, go ahead.
And one other consideration are standards. So the Ethereum request for comment standard, ERC20, the ERC 721, so that a token, for example, can work in a standardized wallet. So creating identity standards, token standards, exchange standards were extremely important as well. And we helped craft all of those.
Okay, so that's the background. And I wanted Andrew to give you his background because he's seen the movie before and he knows how to build ecosystems around protocols. And Andrew got me very excited about Nahmi, which I've spoken to you guys about. And I said to you is an ETH layer 2 scaling solution, or an ETH layer 2. I don't even know if you can call them scaling solutions anymore. It's an ETH layer 2, like Polygon, like Arbitrum. It is a methodology or protocol that allows you to take strain off the mainnet, the Ethereum mainnet, and to build on a layer 2. So Andrew, the question for me is, out of all the layer 2s, there are amazing layer 2s today. There's Matic, Polygon, there's Arbitrum, there are a whole lot of others. Why Nahmi?
So I think there are a few specific reasons why to choose Nahmi. Nahmi, first and foremost, is optimized for instant finality. With optimistic rollups, we basically batch transactions and have to wait 7 days for a fraud proof. And if we want an actual institution to use something, a 7-day finality latency is just too long. Another reason why is for groups that want to optimize for predictable fees. We've seen in Arbitrum and Optimism where they actually wait to commit to the base layer based upon the Ethereum gas spikes. So if Ethereum is congested at a certain point in the day, they'll actually delay their periodic commits to the base layer. With Nahmi, we don't have to do that. And simply put, if I take you to a pub and I open a tab, I hand the bartender my credit card, we can order a round of drinks, a round of food, another round of drinks, and a dessert. And all of those microtransactions don't have to get committed to the base layer, just the opening of the tab and the closing of the tab. So we can basically have millions of microtransactions within the channel and then close afterwards. So basically, this is optimized. The team actually was composed of engineers that worked on Bitcoin's Lightning Network and Plasma, and basically learned lessons on the scalability issues around those solutions, and then created Nahmi to optimize for those issues.
So why has there been so little attention around Nahmi? So Nahmi is not spoken about as much as all the other ETH layer 2 scaling solutions. If you think about Matic, a lot of building has taken place on Matic or Polygon. You think about Arbitrum, there's a lot of noise around it today. You think about any type of rollup, since Vitalik spoke about rollups, that's been a hot topic. Why is no one talking about Nahmi?
Because it literally launched with EVM compatibility today. It was actually the first layer 2 in the history of layer 2 scaling solutions, but it only worked for payments 18 months ago. So Alice could pay Bob, very similar to Lightning Network, but we couldn't add arbitrarily complex business logic. For example, EVM compatibility, if X happens, then payment, else failure, until today. So today is literally day 0 of that EVM compatibility. And I imagine over the next 6 months, with their strategic rollout of various applications and exchanges that are going to be launching on it, I imagine it will very quickly be part of that conversation. And frankly, it's a different architecture. It's not a optimistic rollup, and it's not a side chain. So I think it takes kind of the best concepts of both architectures, but leaves the issues behind.
So my analysis of it at the time was it has the fastest finality on any Ethereum layer 2 protocol. It really does have the fastest finality. You don't have to wait for gas fees you don't have to optimize gas fees in terms of your waiting time. And you can put through a whole host of transactions very, very, very quickly. That's why I invested into Nahmi. I think the big question is an ecosystem of developers around Nahmi. So who's going to be building all the tooling? Who's going to be building all the exchanges? I know there's one exchange, which is the NeFi exchange. Who's going to be building all of this? Because that's all good that you got great tech, but...
So simply put, we purposely optimize for EVM compatibility. So we can port any EVM driven smart contract. So for example, we could load Uniswap right on top of it. We could load SushiSwap right on top of it. We could load any NFT right on top of it. And we plan to do that.
Amazing. And is there money to do this? Like, is there a fund? There
money
is.
There's going to be a liquidity mining provisioning that will be announced shortly, and there will be a endeavor called Wait Ventures to build instant finality based solutions that are optimized for institutions that also have the ability to have KYC if necessary at an institutional level, and so we are going to absolutely have multiple endeavors that will be seeding the ecosystem.
Amazing. Andrew, thank you, buddy. So good to hear from you. I guess we've now shown Nahmi to the world. Today is day 0. It is the launch. Today is the official launch. So let's see what happens from here. I'm super bullish.
Thanks, guys. Cheers, Rand.
Okay, guys, we did tell you about Nahmi at 0.0003. It's now at it's like 2 cents. I think it's still a buy. Coolio. Let's move to the next segment of the show before the giveaways. And remember, for the giveaways, we need to have 5,000 likes. Okay, now I got a surprise for you guys. I got a good surprise for you guys. Surprise. There's my friend, Gary V. Gary, how are you, my friend?
I'm well. How are you?
I love getting you on the show because the Banter community goes absolutely, absolutely, absolutely insane every time you come on here, man. So Banter fan, give the man some love.
I love the Banter fan. It's an incredibly, incredibly epic crew of very knowledgeable and a very thoughtful community you've built, and that's a kudos to you. And I'm incredibly humbled to be back on for a short period of time.
We got the stats from YouTube. The YouTube statistics told us that we have the most loyal community in crypto by a factor of 2.7. So the nearest other community in terms of loyalty is 2.7 times less loyal than ours, which is an amazing thing on the Banter community. Gary, you've been busy, brother. I've been watching your Twitter. You've been super busy.
When you love it, it's like a hobby. I was saying to a friend the other day, you go skiing and golfing every chance you get. My career is my skiing and golfing. And so I'm very grateful. And so it's easy to stay busy when you genuinely enjoy it like a hobby.
Are you doing anything else but NFTs today? Like when I read your Twitter and I look at your share of mind, so like you look at someone.
My share of passion is 90% NFTs, 10% the New York Jets. My share of time, I'm running a lot of people are baffled by this, but I have a 1,500 plus global marketing company that I'm the active daily CEO of. You were running a little bit late on your last segment, and I told producer Fred, I'm like, I have an 11 o'clock with a client that I can't move. And so I'm actually spending the majority of my time on VaynerX because I'm the operator of it. But I'm spending an ungodly amount of time building the infrastructure of VFriends, and there's a lot going on in that world.
Amazing. So listen, you told me to bring your friend Vito on, so I'm bringing your friend Vito on, and you said that you're going to give us some great news and tell us some great things that you guys are up to. So Vito, welcome to Crypto Banter, my friend.
Thank you very much for having me.
Amazing.
So Banter community, to the Banter squad, you're looking at one of the most successful and important people in the art world. And I've been fascinated with this concept of and, not or. Everybody, when this all started, they were saying this isn't art, that, or the other thing. And the reality is I through a great friend named Danny Silman, I was introduced to Vito, and we've been working since March on this new platform that we launched this week. And I'll let Vito speak about it a little bit. But it's the biggest point for this community is I do not believe that people have fully wrapped their head around the extent of the change we're going to live in. And what I mean by that is Artificial, the platform we launched, is made for the greatest artists in the world in the physical to create meaningful NFT projects in the digital. And we've seen Tom Sachs and Damien Hirst have some success in the marketplace. And Vito's background of curating the most important artists of our time, and mine and AJ, my brother, who's involved deeply in this, ability to create meaningful NFT structure around that, I think we really got something. Vito?
Yes. Again, thank you for having me. I would say one of the most exciting things about Artificial is the fact that we're engaging artists who might not be participating in this space and really treating it as a new medium. So from Francesco Clemente to a younger artist who's very hot and up and coming, like Jordy Kerwick, or as Gary mentioned, Tom Sachs, really engaging with artists to create digital artworks that might not exist otherwise, and helping them develop them, produce them, create them, and having a platform that's really curated by myself and Gary, and have a place that is...
And the artist by you, and the strategies of the projects together. I'm sorry to interrupt, Vito. I wanted to make this point before I forgot. No. It's incredibly important to me to be a custodian to the ecosystem, right? What I think this Banter community, what I know about your 2.7 more engaged than anybody else community is they know when there's bullshit and they know when there's real. And I think that's where your strength comes from on this show. What I'm most excited about is Vito said something very subtle that why I wanted to jump in. These are some of the biggest artists in the world who would not, if they didn't trust Vito, they would not be in the NFT space. For me, what I'm doing with the restaurant group that I'm launching, where you own the tables through the NFT token, which is coming out later next year, what I did with VFriends with the conference, there's 99% of the projects are putting out the images. What I want to do is grow the overall space. When, Vito, maybe you can speak to the cynicism, the curiosity, the excitement. What is the state of the union of the real art world's point of view on NFT land?
Yeah, I think it's kind of a mixed bag. When I was first kind of investigating these different platforms and artists were coming to me asking me about this space, it was hard for me to cipher through and find the quality. There's a lot out there, and a lot of great stuff, mind you. But I felt more comfortable being able to develop and create these and take care of the artists like I do in my gallery by building our own platform and really having it as an extension of my gallery. But also what was exciting is being able to work with artists across all art or across all mediums. And
Vito,
so
is is this for artists who have existing art to NFT their existing art? Or is this for artists that have existing art to move from traditional art into a new kind of art, which is more digital, more dynamic, etc.?
Yes, exactly. And also just a place for, I know so many artists who have been making digital art or performance art or who really haven't had a platform in which they can show it in museums or a gallery space. But I think this just makes it so much more accessible and really on an educational level and just pure eyes on what they're doing. They spend so much time on creating a lot of this work that really not a lot of people get to see. So Laurie Anderson has a show opening at the Hirshhorn, just opened last Thursday. Incredible show, has VR, digital paintings. And so you can go to DC and see what she's done there. But what we'll be able to do is bring it to you on Artificial and really
the other thing that I wanted to add is we're layering experiences. Clemente, which is what everybody's seeing on the site right now, it was important for us to add elements in the smart contract where you're not just getting the pieces, you're getting access or experiences to the artist, which is a money can't buy reality that is, again, taking advantage of the actual smart contract in NFT land. Vito?
Yeah, so for instance, you'll be able to whoever ends up with Francesco's work will be able to go visit him at his studio in Soho that he's been at since 1977. And he's been making portraits for almost 40 years. And he does it the same way every time. It starts at 10 a.m. and he goes till the portrait's completed. So that sitting and that experience and being able to bridge the digital with the physical and really, I think is what is very exciting. So, between Gary and I and the artists, really bridging that and the two worlds is super exciting.
It's super exciting indeed. Gary, I'm going to let you get to your thing. Vito, thank you for coming on to Crypto Banter. Gary, always good to see you, my brother.
Can I just say something to the Banter community?
Sure.
I love these characters. Every time I come on this show, I basically, you're so good at what you do, but I literally read the comments the entire time. I love them. I want to give a huge shout out to the Banter Nation and thank you for having us on the show. And what I hope this explains to people is we need to push the elements of what can be done in the NFT ecosystem. PLPs are awesome. I have one with VFriends, but there's so much more that can be layered. And I think, and so much more of the world can be brought in. If too many people in this space are like, oh, they don't get it, fuck them, we'll prove it wrong, which I love. I'm that kind of guy. But we should add a comma and say, no, let's educate them and bring them in. And I think the 15 artists we bring in over the next year are going to make the other 150 come along, which elevates the entire space.
I agree 100%. Gary, your family, my friend. Thanks, buddy. Vito, thank you, buddy.
Bye.
Alrighty, guys. So, Gary V launching Artificial with his friend Vito. We need to give away money now. So, how many likes have we got? Over 6,000 likes. Well done. Okay. So, I'm going to give away Redotto. 4 Redottos. So $400, 4 times $100 in Redotto, which is an IDO which is happening like today or tomorrow. It's like any day now. I think it's tomorrow. Okay, so what are we giving away? Guys, before I give anything away, I have to apologize to you guys. I have to apologize to you guys. I had information in my hand, which I was supposed to give to you guys, and I forgot. I didn't forget. I was too busy with other things, and I forgot to give you this information. And it's cost us a lot of money. I've got to be honest. I never traded on it myself because I never got. Remember my friend Harry? Harry came on the show and told us all to buy Fantom. He said that Fantom was going to $10. Remember that? You all remember Harry? Come on, everyone remembers Harry. Harry's a fucking great guy. He's a legend. He was sitting on the yacht. He sent me this. He said, you got to buy JustYours. You got to buy, which is like the OnlyFans for Fantom. you got to buy ZooCoin, which is like the 1 inch and the OpenSea for Fantom. It's a DEX aggregator for Fantom. He said buy Toon Finance and buy TSHAREs. That's what he told me. He sent me this on Sunday, and I forgot to tell you guys, and I forgot to trade on it. Big mistake. Because when Harry talks, you have to listen, and I know that. Harry told me to buy. Let's look at what happened to TSHAREs, because he said buy Toon and TSHAREs. You don't want to see this. Trust me, you don't want to see this. You'll feel sick. That's what happened. And then he said, buy Toon. That's what happened. He also told us to buy Just, which is which Just is it? I want to make sure I give the guys the right Just. It's the one on Fantom. It's like the Just fans on Fantom. And it is also, and he also told us to buy, what is the other one he told us to buy? Let's quickly check it again. Just, and it's Zoo. That's what he told us to buy Zoo, which is the OpenSea for Fantom. So those two haven't run yet. He also says that Fantom is going to $10 very soon. I mean, I should have listened. Get such FOMO when things triple before I buy. So I got to apologize to you guys. I hope you guys will accept my apology. I really do. I'm sorry. I had the information and I never gave you the information because I forgot. Because I forgot to trade in it myself. Bad. All right, let's give away $400 of Redotto. I'll make it up to you guys. I promise I'll make it up to you guys. Okay, Sia Chris. $100 of Redotto goes to you if you're a subscriber to our channel. I'm going to check. Let's quickly check if Sia is a subscriber to our channel. Let's quickly check. Let's check. Oh, she just subscribed. I can see that. Well done, Sia. You just subscribed. I saw that. It's all good. We'll accept you. Gilad Alkalay. Because you sound like you're Israeli, bro. $100 of Redotto goes to you. Olusola live. If you're a subscriber, I can see the subscribers going up now. Look at this. You guys are cheeky, super cheeky, super cheeky. And Ranadir, ready. I reckon if I was like Hindu, then that would be my name. Ranadir. It's like Ranadir. That would be my name, I'm telling you. Ranadir. If I was Hindu, bro. Okay, you get $100 of Redotto. Again, guys, I'm so sorry. I look at this and I have to apologize to you. I was wrong. Should have told you. I had the information. I didn't give you the information because I didn't do my research in time. So we lost on 3 extra turns in a day. He still says it's good to buy. I don't know. You guys, you decide. You decide whether we should listen to Harry. I'm going to take a small position just in case Harry's right. He might be right. And then what? You're going to sit here and say, I didn't buy. Crazy ass. Alrighty, that is it for today. I will see you guys again tomorrow for Shaldino's show. And then I will see you at 10 a.m. EST tomorrow for my show. Remember, after the show, in half an hour, go to Crypto Banter /meetups. Let's quickly see if it works. Maybe it works now. I don't know. Crypto Banter /meetups. It might not work yet, but it will work if you want to attend a Banter Friday giveaway this weekend. It's working. Okay, so every Friday we banter. If you want to banter on Friday, either go to put in your details if you want to host an event or just join a meetup anywhere in the world. I will see you guys again tomorrow. Until then, trade well, my friends. I messed up with Harry's calls. Disaster. It was disaster. I should have checked it. You can't catch every bus.
178%
in a day. And he told me.